Hi everybody, welcome back to Narcshield. I hope you will like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for following me. I really do appreciate it, and thank you so much for your comments. I really do like to read your comments. I read every single one of them, and I do appreciate you being here very, 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 very much. I want to make sure I say that. So I wanted to talk to you guys about when you are in a narcissistic relationship or have, and you want to fix it. I had somebody in a group setting, they asked me this question, and they are sad and they tried to be nice and just want to be friends with this person, and this person kind of comes in and is friends, but then the discard came about 6 or so weeks later. And here's the thing. They didn't even know that they said anything that would cause the discard. They were like, I thought that I said, and it offended this person. And the thing that they said was so not anything bad. But when you're dealing with someone who has high narcissistic traits, is a narcissist, or even a narcissist, and then or has NPD, and then maybe even antisocial personality disorder or something else, they can get a narcissistic injury and you not even understand why. I mean, I just did a video on a narcissistic injury that I had no idea until I was getting screamed at. I wasn't even given a voice in the situation. This person had just created their story and they were sticking to it. And their story was completely wrong. But they believed it full-heartedly, felt entitled, and treated me badly. But so if somebody's going to get a narcissistic injury, you can walk on eggshells forever and try to, and hope to God you're not going to make them mad. But they're sensitive. They're sensitive people, and they perceive things differently. So you may say something and they can perceive it as a criticism and take it wrong. And they will create this story in their head, and now you're the villain and you're bad again, because you're either good or bad. You're never anything in between. And so if that person feels criticized at all, they're going to pull away. Now, that doesn't mean they don't want you to beg and all that for them, because that does make them feel better. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to make you feel punished for a really long time, because that also makes them feel better, because they like to see that you're hurting. And so people say, well, isn't that sadistic? Well, yeah, it is sadistic. But that's how it is. And so I was saying to someone, I'm like, look, there's plenty of narcissistic people in the world, or NPD people and antisocial personality disordered people and people that are abusive in the world. It's a matter of creating your boundaries and whether you're going to allow somebody to treat you bad, and whether you can work out things with someone, and how much are they going to be in your life. If somebody's abusing you on a continuous basis, then it's your choice to decide whether you want to stay in or out or continue the dance. Because sometimes you'll be in, sometimes you'll be out. You might not ever, you might wonder, but that's how it works with someone like that. And so when you are putting out your expectations onto that person to be reasonable, be able to talk to them, be able to explain, be able to work through something, and maybe see your point of view, you're not going to get that with someone who has narcissistic personality disorder. And so you're setting the bar too high, which would probably be a major narcissistic injury criticism to a narcissist. However, that's the truth. You're setting the bar too high. They see things differently. They're not perceiving things the same way. They're looking through a different lens. And unless you are able to look through their lens and see it in their way all the time and be able to anticipate what's going to trigger them to go off and be angry and toxic towards you And it can be a silent treatment, which is anger, and that is abuse. Now, granted, some people need to take some time and think about it and process things, and then you come back and then you can talk about it, and you talk about your feelings, they talk about their feelings, and then this would be a healthy relationship. And then one would say, I didn't see it that way. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean, to be this way. And I'm really sorry that I da 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 da. And then the other person, I'm sorry, I didn't see it this way. And na 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 na. I'm glad that we talked this through. Let's not let that happen again. And that would be a healthy way to have it. But if you're with someone who's narcissistic, that is not how it's going to go. It's their way, the highway. And so what they think is right and what you think is wrong, and how dare you? And don't speak to me, and don't anything until I tell you that you can. And that's why it's like this all the time. And they don't like it when you argue with them, because then you're trying to point out something wrong with them, and that isn't okay. And you're supposed to be the one that's wrong, and therefore you're bad, because they can't ever stop and go, wait a minute, like I did something. They need you to be the bad guy, and they need to be the victim, and they will fight to the death, and you can go round and round and round. So the best thing for you to do is just to let it go and just let them get through it. And if they come back around, they come back around. I do understand. I am not perfect. There are relationships that I have had with people, and some I have wanted to really work out, and I really have cared about those people. There's only so much you can do. Here's the thing. The expectations of a narcissist are super high. They're super high. But you're not supposed to have any expectations of them. They don't want you to have expectations of them. They don't want to have to be accountable. And when you are trying to do that, they will run away. And if they think that you can see through them and see their ugly sides of them that they're trying not to see, they will paint you, they call it black and white thinking. So it would be good or bad. So they paint you bad. And then they are basically saying that you're the bad person, and I need to think of you as bad. Someone says, over and over we hear, well, do they miss us? Do they ever think about us? Probably don't think about you unless you come on radar somehow. Somebody brings you up, or you call, or you text, or you email, or you run into them somewhere. They run across something that you gave them, something like that. But so do they ever? I mean, I would say yes, probably, but not like you do. The person who is the victim will ruminate and try to figure out how to fix it, and want to fix it, and lose sleep over it, and want to prove loyalty and do everything they can and work hard to try to prove to this person, that they are not, that they didn't mean it, and then say sorry. And sometimes you do need to say sorry. Sometimes you have said things that you didn't mean because, you were in this toxic type thing. And you reacted or whatever. It's two people. But a narcissist isn't saying, I'm sorry to you, and trying to fix it and ruminating on how to fix it. They might ruminate on occasion. Maybe if they have malice towards you and they want to hurt you more. And some are sadistic like that, and they do want to hurt you. And they're thinking of every way they could possibly hurt you, and they think it's funny. They think it's funny. So are you going to let it hurt you? Okay, so sometimes it does hurt. But are you going to continuously allow it to hurt you? And that's something that you have to decide. If somebody wants to be like that, it's okay, we'll be like that. When you're ready to talk, talk. And you have to decide, do you want them in your life or do you not? And what, where, and how do you want them in your life, and vice versa. The same with that person as well, if they were to come back in. But when you're trying to decipher whether somebody has a lot of narcissistic traits or not, I mean, those are the things that you look at. You look at, how is it when you try to work something out with them? How are they? Are they consistent? Do they show up when they say they're going to show up? Do they call when they say they're going to call? Do they ghost you? Do they blame you? Do they give you a voice, not a voice? Do they scream at you? Do they throw things at you? Do they be, there's so many different things, but you should be able to work things out if it's a true narcissist. So, I mean, if it's not a narcissist, I mean, again, we all have narcissistic traits, but I mean, most people, if they really care about you, are going to want to try to work out your friendship, unless you've done something that is so horrible that it's just beyond repair. So, I understand the pain of missing someone. It's hard when someone's around. It's like a death. It's like a death, but they aren't dead. They're still alive, and you may love them. You may genuinely love them, genuinely want them to be happy, genuinely want all those things, but they may not want that for you. And that's the difference in the two of you and the perceptions. They may want you to be miserable, and they will, so they don't care about you, or at least in those moments, they don't care about you. And so I would say that I'm sorry that it hurt you, and I'm sorry it does hurt you if you're continuing to reach out to someone. I know, because there's somebody that I do tend to reach out to on occasion. So I am not, I'm not perfect. I definitely am still going through learning about things. And that person I can't say is a narcissist by any means. I've never, wanted to call this person that, but it's a trait. It is a trait, and I can say that I have done things that weren't okay, but it's the way you work it out. And so if you can't work it out with someone, it's best to just move forward. Don't let yourself stay stuck. You don't have to sit around and cry about it all the time and not move forward with your life. It's important to still do things with your friends and maybe date. And if you're not ready to date, don't do that. I'm just now starting to dip my toe back into that. Take time to heal, and heal what you need to from that, and accept it for what it is. Accept that person for who they are. My phone I have low battery, sorry. Accept that person for who they are, and don't put so much of your expectations of what you would do onto them. That's projecting. That's not who they are. That's not how they do things. And you just have to be okay with that. And I know that sucks, but that's how it works. And your best bet is, if they continue to do that and they don't want to work with you and try to stay on a healthier ground with you, and then they keep doing that to you, it's probably best to just walk away. And I know that most people don't want to do that when they love somebody, but sometimes you need to love yourself more. And so whenever that time is of when you're going to do that, I don't know, because it's different for each person, and we're all just trying to figure it all out. But if you feel like it's hurting you more than anything, it's probably best to let it go. And I personally understand that, and I go through it just as much as anybody else, and we all have to decipher what's best for us. And so I hope that you understand that I do care about you. I do understand you are supported. Don't beat yourself up. This person was beating themselves up. I'm so stupid. Why did I go and try to be their friend again to only get hurt again? Don't beat yourself up. You care. you care about this person. You just can't force them to care about you. And it hurts. But there's nothing you can do about that. And it's not worth you wasting your life crying about it all of the time, because I can promise you that person isn't doing that. They are moving right on along with their life. They are dating, they're hanging out with their friends, they're partying and having a good time, or whatever it is they love to do. They are moving on with their life. So don't you feel stuck. You can still love people from afar. You can always love them. But you don't have to stick around and be abused by them. So until next time, I hope you will like, share, and subscribe. Bye.